So I am Chirag. I basically had MOKSH Academy, and MOKSH Academy is sponsoring this session today, where we are inviting IMGs who have matched this year about talking about their journey. All right. So I've been helping students for last about 12 to 15 years now in this USMLE journey. So today is one such opportunity to interact with IMGs and check out their journeys. All right. So today the first panelist we have is Dr. Vibhor Garg. He's a 2020 graduate from Government College Patiala. He has matched into internal medicine, Jacobi Medical Center, Albert Einstein College of Medicine. All right. So welcome, Vibhor, on this panel. And
Um, so I graduated as a graduate in 2020, and then I went to US, did some
mhm,
rotation, then I applied. I
right,
got like 3 interview invitations. I
perfect,
matched at my top choice, which was Jacobi
right.
Medical.
Great. So we will of course go in detail about your journey, but this just wanted to introduce one by one to all the panelists. All right. Thank you, Vibhor, and we will definitely look forward to your journey. All right. Next, about in the panel we have Dr. Mayuri Patel. She is an Indian physician who has studied in Trinity School of Medicine. So as I said, a lot of Indian students do study in a med school abroad, and then they finally match. So welcome, Dr. Mayuri. On our panel. Uh, and of course, we do have, in our panel, yeah, now we can see you. Perfect. So welcome, Dr. Mayuri. Yeah,
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me today.
yeah, perfect. So then we have Dr. Surbhi again, basically 2019 graduate from Government College, Kolhapur. She's matching to neurology, University of Illinois, Chicago. So welcome, Surbhi, on this panel. And we are glad to have you
Hi.
all today
Yes.
on this. Uh, Hello, and we're glad to have all of you on this amazing panel. And I'm sure, audience, you guys will also have a lot of questions for each of them. So I would, the format of this session would be that I will pick up one question which I would be throwing on my end from the moderator side, and I would want each of you to give perspectives and your experience on that. All right. So idea is that everybody has a unique and a different journey. So we just want to understand from your end. So this is absolutely, you can say, uh, not like a formal session. It has to be, just like the students are your juniors and they just want to hear your story. All right. So you can be as informal as possible, but basically it's the journey which we are interested to understand. All right. Perfect. So for the first question, okay, is about your success mantra for USMLE. When I say mantra again, let's again today's session we don't want to talk about what books and what material, but more on how did you approach to USMLE. How much time did you give to individual steps, and like what was the biggest fear in this USMLE prep. So basic, in terms of the entire journey. All right. So let's start. We can start with Surbi. You could talk about your USMLE journey.
If I just have to give one success mantra, then that would be
Yeah.
focus on yourself and don't compare yourself with others, because otherwise you're going to go down the mental health spiral. So yeah, I think that would be it for me. Just focus on yourself.
That is very important. A lot of time we do peer comparison, and you might not realize that that is giving yourself undue pressure. So absolutely a very golden tip given to you. And thanks for that start, Surbi. How about you, Vibhor? What was your success mantra? I mean, of course, you can not be
So
brief. You can go in detail, no problem.
for me, it was more about being
Mhm.
persistent. I always wanted to be in the US. It was a country which always attracted me. um, I I kept on being persistent in spite of any failures that I had or any problems that I faced. It was what I wanted, and I just kept on working towards it. Yeah, as Surbi said, that we have to just focus on ourselves, and being persistent is, I think, more important. You do not give hope up. Just keep on working towards your goals, on your targets, and keep on achieving them. I think that worked for me.
Absolutely. So persistence and also focus on your goal. All right. So that is again two great tips. Mayuri, how about you?
Sure. So I would say patience actually, because it's very
Okay.
easy to give up. It's a really long journey, and it's a lot of
Yeah.
things to remember. Like we keep reading and reading and reading, and then at the end we get tired. We are like, oh, nothing is going in my head. But you have to have that goal in mind that you have to give this exam, and don't be scared of USMLE. USMLE is just what you are learning in this 5 years. It's nothing new. It's just medical knowledge basically that you have been learning. So it's not that you don't know. It's just that you're scared of the exam. So just be patient with yourself. Focus on yourself, as Survi said. Be persistent with your hard work and dedication. And during the exam, have your presence of mind, because it's a really long exam. People feel sleepy and bored, and then you feel like, oh, nothing is going in my head. I'm reading the question, but I'm not getting it. So it's the presence of mind. Whatever works for you at that point, just do it. Moreover, yeah, you will not get the same questions that you have been reading, but at least when you read the question, you can interpret. That presence of mind will definitely get you more points than, just giving up at that point. And anxiety is one thing that you will have to like cope up with at that point. So yeah.
Absolutely. Again, that is very important. Patience. I mean, that's the thing which we always reiterate in every session of ours. But if I may just ask a follow-up question to this, to all of you, uh, when you saw your first USMLE question, what was the feeling? And then finally, when you appeared, let's say step 2 CK or step 3, the last exam and the last block, how did you feel? So how was that journey? If you can just talk about the first time you saw in any prep book a first question of USMLE and the last question when you hit that submit button, how was that experience?
Okay,
Can
well,
you
for
elaborate?
me,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So for me, the first question I saw, one thing came to my mind: I have to finish this exam on time.
Right,
Because some questions are just too long, and when the first question comes up with a big paragraph, it kind of panics you. So that was the thing in my mind. Like I was a little nervous, and I'm like, no, I need to get this done on time. When I saw the last question, I was thinking of my whole exam. Did I miss
hmm,
anything? When I marked the question, was I able to review it properly? Was I able to mark every question? That was my last thought that I had before I
right.
clicked on the submit button. Yeah.
Interesting. How about you, Vibhor?
So it's just a funny thing which happened. When I went to the exam center, my bladder was completely full, and I didn't know that you can just take a break, or like you can like once you enter into the exam hall, you're not allowed to leave it, even if that's the reception area of the exam hall where they allow you to enter in. So at the reception area, I was there, I was taking in, and I was about to enter the main exam hall, and then I realized that I need to pee. So I asked, can I go and pee? And they were like, no, you have checked in. And I was like, oh shit. So my first exam block was I was a bit nervous, um, but I went with the mentality that whatever comes, I just have to do it. I have to attack each and every question which is coming towards me, and I just did that. It went after first block, I went to the washroom and relieved myself, and in the last block, I was completely numb because it's a 9 hour long exam. You can't think of anything. Yeah, it's just I was just marking whatever felt right to me. And yeah, after end of each block, I did what Mayuri told us, that just checking, cross checking everything, that I've answered each and every question or not. Is there any difficult question which I skipped and I kept it for later on and I've done it or not? So that was the way I gave my exam. um, yeah, that's how it went. But the first question that I saw of USMLE was probably in my second year or third year.
All right,
um,
all right,
so
right.
at that time, I found it very wonderful that how the clinical based scenarios are there, and you have to check on a option. I found it very interesting, and I thought, okay, I should do this part because it's more interesting, it's more fun way to learn as compared to just being uh, thrown at learning facts, suppose of that kind of thing. So that also attracted me towards USMLE, because I always felt like that, why am I learning this, why this is important to me as a doctor. So that really helped me. USMLE not only provided me with a lot of medical knowledge, it also made me a good physician, I think.
Vibhor is so right. Like that's the entire reason that I chose to do USMLE, because the questions are so good. Like they're so clinically oriented that with every question, like I was also practicing as a physician, like every day while studying, I could see myself get better as a doctor with the questions that I was solving. And for the question that how my first question set was, it was horrible. I was completely screwed. I was like, what is happening? How can I do this in 60 minutes? And I was like, this is impossible. But now it's like after you've solved so many questions, it is still a little bit like that. Like it is still like you're like, okay, oh my God, how am I going to finish this in 60 minutes? And there's a lot of anxiety, but it gets better. I would say it gets like 80 to 90% better, and you are like much more of a pro at it than you were. So just keep at it. Like you get better at it. It's all about the practice.
Absolutely. Some very, very important, points which I could note. First thing what Dr. Vibhor mentioned about, it's a small instance, but, using the washroom. So what to do on a actual exam day? You need to be very well prepared about these things, because I agree, but, thanks for that, and then second thing was also about time management, reviewing, which is equally very important. And as Dr. Surbi also pointed out, right? So maybe the journey when you start looks very very much, you can say, gigantic or very difficult, or something. Sometimes it looks like impossible, but then as you progress through the journey, things get better. So I always tell the student, one step at a time, one step at a time. That's how you should take it forward. And you can already see how things are working for your colleagues out here. All right.